Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the He's on Fire podcast. We're just talking Suns news today, other things that are going around in the NBA right now, because as far, like free agency is starting tomorrow, I think 3 p.m. Valley time. So it's going to be really hectic from now until when free agency starts and everything after free agency. There's a lot of news that broke today, a lot of signings, a lot of not picking up options. So we're going to break down all the biggest stories along with some of the Sun stuff that happened today. I am your host today, Jay Joyce. You can find me at that handle on Twitter. And you can find us at the He's on Fire podcast. Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, whatever. And then also you can follow us at the Arizona Sports Underground, Cardinals content, Suns content, whatever you can think of. I'll follow them as well. And just keep in the loop with Arizona sports. The Diamondbacks lost a series against Tampa Bay. We blew it in the last inning last night, which was unfortunate, and then early today we got blown out. But on to the next series, and hopefully we just keep on chugging. Shout out Corbin Carroll and all that stuff for making the All-Star team. But yeah, let's just get into the nitty-gritty of everything that happened today. We'll first start with the Bradley Beal presser that happened today at 11:30. Bradley Beal is a very insightful dude, very intelligent, very well-spoken. Bradley Beal, he was in Washington, D.C. his entire career thus far, 11 years in D.C., played in some playoff games, not much success there, but him and John Wall, that tandem was very, very fun to watch. But now Bradley Beal's a Phoenix Sun. He had his presser today. There were some pretty good questions today. Dwayne Rankin was trolling a bit today with some controversial questions and stuff that couldn't be answered in that moment. But overall thoughts about Bradley Beal, I'm really excited, and I can't wait until October when we can finally see these guys on the court, especially Bradley Beal in a Phoenix Suns uniform. Him and Frank Vogel and James Jones were all on stage together, and all of them were in unison. And they talked about the future and everything. And the biggest thing that they were pointing out is that this core of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and DeAndre Ayton and Cam Payne are going to be pivotal and huge for this team and what they can deliver this year and the upcoming years as well. So from the presser watching it live, they're really pushing DA down our throats and stuff. So it sounds like they're gonna going for the long haul with DeAndre Ayton for at least this year, which is nice. I would like to keep DeAndre Ayton around, and we talked about this a couple of days ago on the weekly recap. What's going on, Westville? How you doing today? Yeah, DeAndre Ayton was a big big catalyst for conversation in this presser, and Beal is really excited to play with them. And he stated that the last good big man that he's really played with was Suns legend Gortat. And he admitted that DeAndre Ayton is a lot better. He's one of the best two-way centers in the league, one of the best centers, period, in the league. And there's a lot of unlocked potential and all that stuff, which is really cool. And Vogel in the last 2 weeks has been, marching around telling, anybody that asks him, what his thoughts are about DeAndre Ayton. And he lets you know that he's going to try his best to unlock this guy, essentially what he's saying. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm glad DeAndre Ayton is in the game plan going forward, and it's worth giving him another shot. Then the same thing with campaign. I'll go ahead and throw this ticker up real quick, but if you didn't see, because of everything else that was happening today, campaign, his the Suns fully guaranteed campaign's final year of his contract, which is pretty big. The first guy that we are going to be bringing back. We still have questions about Jock and Okogie and the rest of these guys that we picked up their option and their restricted free agents and stuff. So we're waiting on the word on those guys. But bringing campaign back is huge, and I think he's going to be pretty pivotal in what we have to deliver this year. And Vogel hinted that he's open to having campaign be the starting point guard, or be really implemented in the bench like he's been doing the last couple of years. And he's totally comfortable with rolling with campaign if push comes to shove, essentially what he said. So after the presser, this was released as well. So with Bazley, the Suns did not extend his qualifying offer, and now he's a restricted he is a restricted he's not a restricted free agent. I'm sorry. So he's unrestricted free agent because the Suns did not pick up his option. And so he's going to be out on the open market. A lot of people didn't understand this just because, he was just really cheap and we couldn't develop this guy. But look, let's call it how it is. Bazley was part of a salary dump to get off Dario, saying that, getting rid of Dario and acquiring Bazley back really helped us in cap situation. I think Bazley can develop into a really good player. I just don't think his exact skill set is worth, really diving into as of right now, because with some of our newcomers, I think will be implemented in the rotations more quickly than Bazley. So it's whatever. I don't mind it, but what's going on, P Dog? Suns guaranteed Payne's money to move behind. What is going on, Coda Kid? What is going on? Good day in basketball world, man. So those were sort of the biggest stories with the Suns today. But we're going to get into some stuff right now. The topic of conversation for today, and then we'll end the broadcast and all that. I'm clicking everywhere. So today, Chris Haynes, out of all people, with more Phoenix Suns news, is that Kyrie's going to be meeting with the Phoenix Suns as early as when free agency kicks off tomorrow, and then a little later on in the day, it came out that Harden opted into his contract, and he is now seeking a trade. This is a very interesting situation, and I already had a feeling that this offseason was going to be really, really crazy. And we already kicked it off with acquiring Bradley Beal, and like 2 weeks out of free agency. So we set the tone, and everybody's just sort of following now. But with this Kyrie and Harden situation, it does change a lot of things. The easiest thing to say with this Kyrie thing is that this is a leverage move in acquiring more money from the Dallas Mavericks, because we don't know if Cuban and crew are buying into Kyrie long term to give him a max or close to the max at least. So I don't know about that situation with Dallas and what they're feeling on with Kyrie, because they kind of gave up a lot for Kyrie, and when they got Kyrie, he did his job. And like Luka wasn't playing well, the rest of the team wasn't playing well, but Kyrie, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. And it's interesting in with the position that both of these parties are in. Can Kyrie sign the minimum for to join the Phoenix Suns? He absolutely can. Is it unlikely? Yes. But on the flip side of that coin, like he's already probably made the most amount of money he possibly can with just the talent of player that he is and all the endorsements he's had throughout the years. To reunite with Kevin Durant in Phoenix is pretty, it's pretty crazy, but it's not entirely crazy. And before Kyrie landed in Dallas, fucking Wendy, he said that Kyrie Irving is one of his preferred destinations was Phoenix, and if he was open to it, the only way I would want to get Kyrie in a Phoenix Suns uniform to start the season is him sign a vet minimum, which is like $5 million or something. Is he going to do it? Probably not, but that's the only way I would want to do it. Sign and trade, hard caps, not only us, but the Dallas Mavericks as well. If we get a third team involved, that still doesn't really help our situation with building out the rest of the roster. So the only way I would want Kyrie in a Phoenix Suns uniform to start the season is if he takes the vet minimum. If he does that, you're not gonna hear me complain whatsoever. Kyrie's one of my favorite players of all time, and to see him in a Phoenix Suns uniform would be absolutely insane. But I am not trusting Chris Haynes' reports around Phoenix Suns stuff because the Reaper came out today on vacation. Gambo did say that's a load of horseshit. He didn't say it like that, but he just said it was insane. It's not going to happen. But Mark Stein said that it was, and Mark Stein he's pretty on the money with stuff going around, things going around in the NBA. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We're just going to play by ear, and hopefully things come in our favor. But free agency, I'm really excited because I think we're going to bring in some dudes, some studs that are really going to make this team look scary. And it's funny watching on Twitter Laker fans, Dallas fans, Denver fans just fucking like when they saw like Kyrie news, they're like, "Oh God!" Well, like they didn't want to admit that they were scared. It's just the fact that we're just sort of impaling them with just that fear of we can possibly have like the scariest starting five in recent memory. It's a pretty cool thought, and we don't really fuck with those teams either. So. Jean Paul says Kyrie is posturing. Yeah, I think so too. I think he just wants bread. And if I had to give it a percentage of what I think Kyrie's gonna go, I'm gonna give it 97% that he goes to the Mavericks. But I don't think he has much of a market. So if he wants his bread, I would just stay there. That coach has me hyped. Yeah, dude, Vogel's spitting, dude. Like he has me pumped, and I'm really excited to see what's going on and what this team is going to entail. Yeah, championship mentality, man. I mean, he's bringing it. He is absolutely bringing it. Coda says DA name drops by Brandon and Frankie Fingers. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that presser alone kind of just implemented and told everybody that DA is in and we're gonna roll with him. So some clarification there is pretty nice. I don't feel bad for Chris Haynes. I mean, like he's reporting what he hears and it's his oh shit, it's his decision to put it out or not when he's given the green light to. So it's up to him. His son's track record isn't entirely good. So if I was him, I would stay away from the Suns for a bit. Yeah, the NBA hates us. They do not want to see this. Yeah, the thing that kind of gives this thing a little more substance, is what Coda says here. Flex tweeted about it too, but it was more surrounding that, free agents are going to be, flooding to Phoenix and stuff to play with this crew. And I believe it. History says that that happens and all that. So I'm really, I just can't wait for this summer, man, to see everybody that wants to come. And tomorrow, I know we're going to hit hard with signing guys. I hope we get Torrey Craig sooner than later. And hopefully we can just get another guy quickly off the free agency market. And hopefully it's Yuta. So we have him secured. But man, I am excited. But let's get into the Harden side of things. Harden, whatever. So Harden opted into his contract and requested a trade in that aspect. And the prime targets, or the estimated targets, are the Clippers, the Knicks, the Suns, and Houston. Even the Lakers, if you want to throw the fucking Lakers in there. Harden is in a pickle right now, and there really isn't much to say besides that. Harden put himself in this situation. He's going to have to be traded, and I just don't know where Harden's value is. I know there probably will be a team that gives in a bit. I don't think Philly's going to get this nice package for Harden. I think it would be pretty far-fetched to think that. I just don't know what Harden's role is for his future and stuff, because I don't think he's willing to come off the bench. I think he wants to be the primary ball handler to whatever team he's at. And there's just isn't a lot of teams that offer that, really. And for Philly, I'm willing to cut losses with Harden, and with the new acquisition of Nick Nurse, go after Fred VanVleet and just roll your dice on that. And I would much rather have VanVleet over Harden. That's for damn sure. But, I mean, it sounds like Houston is not wanting Harden back. Completely understandable considering how he left. I just don't know Harden, because if he goes to the Knicks, I'd rather have Jalen Brunson have the ball in his hands. And then, what is Harden doing? If Harden goes to the Clippers, what's the trade package to the Clippers? And, are we just going to roll with injury-riddled Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi, and just hoping that everything figures itself out? We're just going to prolong this thing even more. The Lakers, they didn't pick up Malik Beasley's option and stuff, so they're trying to still figure things out. The Suns, at this point, we don't need Harden at all. So I just don't know where he would go and fit and be positively productive, if that makes sense. So I give Kyrie a 5% chance that he'll be a Phoenix Sun. I'm going to give Harden probably close to 0, but I'll give him a 1%. I honestly, it's just not going to happen. I'd rather it not happen. If I had the choice, it would be Kyrie, and it would be on a minimum, So free agency starts tomorrow. A lot of things have already happened. Harrison Barnes, he accepted a 3-year deal with the Kings, which is pretty huge. That kind of shook up the forward, market and free agency quite a lot. And it was rumored that Kuzma was going to go to the Kings. Flex said he's either going to re-sign with Washington or go to Utah. And I think those are probably the two, places that are most likely. I totally agree with Flex in that aspect. So that definitely shook some things up. Dante DiVincenzo is also available on the market. I think he's going to try to get his bread somewhere else. The Suns might have a dog in the horse in the race. I have no clue. And Knicks guard Josh Hart has exercised his $12.9 million option, so he will be back with the Knicks next year. I think that's a good move. One good move from the Knicks is pretty rare, and they hit it on that. I wouldn't have let him go. The Lakers will waive Mo Bamba, and the team did not pick up Malik Beasley, like I mentioned. I'm not crazy about Mo Bamba, but if he came here on a minimum, I mean, that's more big def, which, we kind of need. So I don't hate it. If we can get Malik Beasley, cool. I just don't know if he's looking for the bag or not, or he's ring chasing. Andre Drummond has exercised his $3.36 million player option with the Chicago Bulls. I don't know what Chicago's doing, dude. They are stuck in no man's land and they just won't give up. Then, the biggest story last night was the Clippers aren't guaranteeing guard Eric Gordon's $20 million contract, and he will become a free agent. And this is a lot of cap relief for the LA Clippers. And, all Suns fans last night were just like, is it time to bring in Eric Gordon? And trust me, I would love Eric Gordon on this team running the bench unit. And I think Eric Gordon alongside Bradley Beal and Campaign, that three-guard lineup is pretty nasty, I think. So if Eric Gordon, if you're watching, come to Phoenix, dude. We have a role for you, and he would definitely be impactful. Man, he's played for 15 years. That's crazy. And the Pelicans, they didn't pick up Herb Jones' player option, and he is a restricted free agent. I think they're going to give him the bag. I wouldn't let Herb Jones go. And the other biggest thing in the last couple days is the Timberwolves are declining on Taurean Prince's guaranteed $7.4 million contract, and he will be a free agent. Taurean Prince on this team is like a perfect fit, and I would love Taurean Prince. Let me know what y'all think about Taurean Prince. Dude is a stud. He can hit a couple threes a game. I'm a big Taurean Prince guy. What are my thoughts on Bazley and I getting the no type of offer sheet? I think it was just a salary dump at the end of the day with the move anyway. We have Isaiah Todd, and we know what he is. He's like a big forward that is there for the defense and, can catch a lob and stuff. Bazley, he's just like a wing that doesn't really excel in anything just because of development. But I'm cool. It doesn't really affect me in any way. We have Isaiah Todd. We don't need two Isaiah Todds, but it was a nice thought in theory, but I'm not crazy about it. But yeah, those are sort of the biggest things that have happened through the last couple of days. Of course, Chicago picked up Nurkic's thing. Detroit picked up Alec Burks' thing. That's. Sorry about that. That was sort of everything that's happened the last couple of days since we last talked. So with that being said, that kind of covers everything today. If anything crazy happens, I will be here to break it down for you guys. I'm going to try to keep up these